My landlord thought he could pull one over on me, but ended up learning the meaning of "you should have read the fine print before you signed it." To summarize, the real estate company that owns my apartment thought they could intimidate my roommates and I into signing a new, crappier contract, but ended up getting bit by their own laziness. Edit for clarity: in Germany, it is common to have indefinite rental contracts, which do not have a set end date and remain in effect until termination, usually by the tenant. Some context: I live in Germany, which has extremely strong tenants' rights. I've been living in my apartment for about 8 years now. About 1 year after I first moved in, I got a letter from the company that owns my apartment building. In short, it said this: "Dear Mr. X, we are canceling your existing rental contract. If you wish to continue renting this apartment, please sign this new contract, with higher rent / or move out within 30 days. This scared the hell out of me. I was living in a city where the rent prices were skyrocketing and I had only just managed to find a long-term apartment I could afford. As soon as I began looking at my options, it became clear that I was either going to have to fight what was essentially an eviction or move back to the US and start building my life again just after I had finally found some stability. After I asked around a bit, someone tipped me off to something called a Mieterverein, which is essentially a non-profit group that advocates for tenants' rights and gives its members the opportunity to get legal advice regarding their rights as tenants. I looked one up near me and booked it over to their office. I explained my situation, filled out some paperwork, and went to speak with the group's lawyer. I showed her the letter and my current contract and she looked over it for a few minutes without saying a word. After what felt like an eternity, she looked at me and said in her most diplomatic German legalese, "You have nothing to worry about. This letter is bullshit," admittedly paraphrased, but that's what it boiled down to. She then turned to a page of the contract and pointed out a single line in it: "No changes may be made to this contract unless both parties consent to the proposed changes." In other words, as long as I refuse to sign the new contract, they can't do anything to me. The group's lawyer then sent a letter on my behalf to the company. I received a copy of it for my records and essentially, it told the company that they would find themselves in some major trouble with the government if they continued to pursue the matter further. About a month went by and I heard nothing further. Then, one day, a letter from the company arrived. The company basically admitted defeat and tried to cover its tail by saying that the letter was sent in error by an employee who is no longer with the company. For the next 7 years, it became an annual ritual. Company sends ominous letter telling me I'm getting kicked out. I forward the letter to the Mieterverein, and the Mieterverein's lawyer sends them a letter telling them to stick the letter where the sun don't shine. And then, after attempt number 8, the lawyer sent them another letter telling them to cut the crap and stop sending these letters every year. I haven't heard from them since. Smile.